I am reviewing a director of IT operations. So, what we're going to be looking for here is going to be a little different than other types of resumes. Also, if you like this content, please like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help me out. So what we're going to be looking for is less of keywords and more qualifications. There are going to be keywords, but they are going to be less important than actual qualifications. So the keywords in particular we're going to be looking for is like stakeholders, IT, ITIL, large-scale infrastructure, and then there's going to be like certifications, and this is really going to depend on the type you go to, so like cybersecurity or cloud, which would be like AWS, so that kind of thing. And then what we're actually looking for in qualifications is going to be how you solved problems with people, and by that I mean as a director level, you're either the people above you or you yourself are going to say, the company has a problem. Here is how I solve it. And you need to show that you have solved company problems. And depending on the company, that's going to be different. But they want to know that you've solved it with people. So, like, as an example, we had, let me use this as a better example, actually. There is a flood coming to our town. So what I did was I hired, fired, and made sure our team of ex-flood engineers were equipped and protected. I directed them on how to build the infrastructure to protect from the flood, and I ensured X and Y so that when the flood came, the damage was minimal compared to X and Y. That is going to be one type of bullet point. The other type is going to be the scale and type of domain. So where the first one is how you solved problems, the next one is going to be how you what type of problems there were, right? So like there were flood problems, and I know this isn't IT, I'm just trying to use it as a broad metaphor, but like, was it cybersecurity, was it infrastructure, was it cloud, and like how big it was, right? Like how many people you managed, how much was it, how long did it take, etc. They also want to know that you've spoken to stakeholders, and then a little bit more like what kind of projects you've done. And I know there's a lot of similarities between these, but they're slightly different. So this is what we're going to, on average, be looking for in a director level. Honestly, director level, not just IT, but, so a couple of keywords, how you solve problems with people, the scale and type of problems, and then what kind of projects you made in general. So let's look at it. All right, I am an experienced IT director of 15 years in optimizing and enhancing operational efficiency and solving process-related issues. So summaries are not usually useful. Admittedly, for director levels, they can be useful, but this does not tell me what I need to know. I do like cross-departmental teams. I like data systems, but I want to say something like, I am a IT operations director with over 15 plus years who has worked with cybersecurity, cloud databases, X and Y, and done Y and Z. Core competencies. So I'm not a fan of skill sections, but higher level manager positions can have skill sections, but these are not the skills I actually need. So it is going to be largely assumed that if you put a skill section on your resume for director level, that you've kind of done it. So this is where I want to see like cybersecurity certs. This is where I want to see like cloud, AWS, Azure, that kind of thing, because it's less important that it's here and more important that it shows you did it, which again is the opposite of what is normally the case. So let's go to the actual one. Led the department and management of a customer support ticketing system. That's so far good. Ticketing system, improving ticket resolution and escalation processes across teams, resulting in faster response time and higher customer satisfaction. Yeah, I like that. I need a little bit more. I want to know more about it, but that's so far okay. Led the design and implementation of a custom billing system integrating 13 plus vendor APIs. That's fine. Ensuring accurate and reconciliation of 20 million revenue. I like that. So also you've applied to 1 in 50 jobs, which admittedly you started in December. So I actually don't think your ratio is terrible at 1 to 50 if you started in December. Manage seamless integration between Salesforce, kind of managing data flows between SaaS platform. So yeah, here is what I'm largely missing. I know what your projects are, and that's perfect. I like that. But I'm missing why the project was important. Like why... No, this one is fine. This one is good. But I'm missing... You know what? Let me go back to this one. Resulting in a faster response time and higher customer satisfaction is solid. But you know what I don't know? I don't know how many people you had on this team. I don't know the budget of the team. I don't know if you did it on time and under budget. I also that's kind of the main thing that I'm missing from this. Overall, actually pretty solid first bullet point. Led to the design and implementation of custom building system. This is okay, but again, how long did this take you? What was the size? In fact, that's also something I need to know is, have you noticed that there is, like, I got, like, no sleep last night, so I'm trying to formulate this correctly, and management resumes are very tough, especially this high. But I think overall what I'm seeing here is you do tell me what the project is, and you tell me how important it is, but I don't know how you utilized the human resources you had. How did you create teams to handle problems? How many people were you in charge of? And I think that's largely what we're missing in a summary sentence here. I think this is a solid sentence, but particularly for this format of resume, I would kind of like a slightly better summary sentence that says what your team size was, what your annual budget was, that kind of thing. So overall, I can definitely see this passing. But there is another type of resume formatting, and you are in chat, so I'm going to give it to you, that we can work on that is better for directors, which it's a nightmare to teach, but I'm going to try to teach you. So formatting wise, I'm trying not to get too into it because I think we're going to change it, but I think your bullet points are mostly good. I think I'm just missing a little bit of this right here. 20 agents. Okay. I'm missing of an overall what you are, but I think this is solid, and I think we can work with this. So I think this could pass in a couple of places, and considering you've got 1 to 50 and you started applying in December, I think that is accurate too. But I think we can pump it up a notch, right? So I think this definitely passes, but we can make it even better. So let's go on to the next video. We are looking at forgot to change this, software engineer. What kind? I don't know. Oh, Java engineer. Okay, perfect. That's good. I didn't look at the keywords right before because I didn't know what kind, but do I have Java engineer saved? I don't. Okay, so we're gonna go based on what this is. So let's look at this. This person applied to 50 apps and the ratio is 1 to 50, which is not good, but not terrible, especially in IT. So what we're going to be looking for is that, see, off the top of my head, it's going to be SQL, any type of cloud, the word Java, probably Kubernetes and Spring, and then React and React API, and maybe 1 or 2 others like that. So that's what I believe the keywords is off the top of my head. So, all right, formatting here is awful. Implemented a batch processing system for bank documents, increasing the daily output from blank to blank. Okay, don't care. Developed enterprise level monitoring, enterprise analytics, don't care. Legacy code bake. Okay. Yeah, this needs to be reworked. I think the fact that you state that you're a Java engineer up here and that you have this is probably helping you a lot, but formatting wise, this is awful. Single column, I have below this in the video description, there is a template. I would like you to use a template. Please use my template, single column. And I will be honest, these bullet points are not, while they're not good, I don't think you need to do a lot to change them. So all I really need for this, and again, it's not going to be much, is implemented a batch processing system for bank documents using Java, blank, 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 and blank. That would be fine. That you're just missing those keywords. Then developed an enterprise level monitoring application for international organizations using in an environment of X, Y, and Z. And again, what I'm going to be looking for, there's going to be more than this. I think the last video, the video before this, there was a Java engineer. We're going to look at Java, then we're going to be looking for like Spring, then we're going to be looking for any type of cloud, any type of AI. AI is a bonus, it's not necessary. But we do need any type of SQL. So these are going to be the main ones. If you do this alone, your ratio is going to go up. There's probably more, but again, I didn't know this was a Java engineer until I looked at it, and I would not actually know this is a Java engineer unless you stated right here that you were a Java engineer. Yeah, there's nothing else I can do with this. There's absolutely no keywords. So your bullet points are, all you need to do is just put in the bullet points. This is going to be a pretty short review. I don't think this is going to take you that long to change. Put it into a single column and you should just see a lot more interviews. That should be fine. So let's move on to the next one. So for this resume, I don't fully know. I'll be honest, they stated that they were a data analyst, but then they put they're also okay with data entry positions. And they sent me like a giant paragraph, but it didn't help explain sort of what they wanted. So I think I'm judging this based on a data analyst, because data analyst and data entry are very different. Data analyst is sort of like understanding the data, while data entry is really more akin to an admin. Like administrative assistant. It's not exactly, but it's close. So for a data analyst, not necessarily data entry, we're looking for SQL, Excel, Tableau, Power BI, AI, ML, Jira, Python, R, leadership. Sorry, that was for a senior one. Leadership you don't need. Subject matter expert, also, Data visualization you do need. So let me just remove these real quick. That you've done ETL, you've talked to stakeholders, and how you solved issues with data. So that's what I'm going to be looking for here. First off, please use a single column. Double columns are almost never good. You also explain why you did this in reverse chronological order. That doesn't help. Please never do that. Okay, so, and then you just have 2019. So you also need the months. Every time you do, okay, so here are some basic formatting issues. Always, with the exception of graduate, like education and certificates, you need the months, because otherwise it looks like you've only been here for a month. Excel is part of that. University of redacted, courses, education, okay. In progress, I mean, they don't care if it's in progress. They want to know that it's completed. This one's good. Power BI dashboard in a day. Okay, research assistants, compiled results from statistical reports using combination of R and Microsoft Office. Yeah, those would be the keys. Developed and published new findings in these. Okay, that doesn't matter as much. Research and experimented on aquatic animals. Okay, gathered data and recorded in Excel database. Again, that's really more data entry. Extracted DNA for processing in salmon labs. That's not going to help. Okay, utilize specific POS systems, create customer profiles, recording data, maintain history. Again, that's not worked with customers to understand outline, educate customers or project by project, maintain front of house inventory, no. And then it goes from 2018 to present, and then this? Firefighter's neat, but that's not what we're looking for. I don't know what this is. This would not pass. I mean, I will be quite frank to you, person who sent this in. You need to redo all of this. None of this really works. I do know you gave me a reason that this is not in chronological or reverse chronological order, but that doesn't matter. It still needs to be in reverse chronological order. Because I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be mean. I just don't know what to do for this. There's literally nothing here that I could work with. Because some of this is needed and then others isn't. Because the only thing I got out of this is that you did use R and Excel, and that's all I've got, which is good. R and Excel is good, but this is one of the few where I don't actually care as much about Microsoft Office stuff, specifically for a data analyst. Again, maybe a data entry would care about Word, Excel, but not necessarily data analyst. So this would not pass because I don't know what this is. None of this is what I would be looking for, except for like 2 things. And I couldn't submit this because the manager would just throw it back to me. So this whole thing needs to be redone. There's no nice way to say it. This whole thing needs to be redone. You need to use a single column. You need to find a way to do it in actual reverse chronological order, because this is so weird. It doesn't work on any level. Please stop by the channel. I will try and help you out. I just, this whole thing needs to be tossed and restarted. Please use the format I have below, and then we can also clarify what you're doing, because again, data analyst and data entry are not the same thing. They both share that they use Excel, but those are very different jobs. So let's move on to the next resume. For this resume, we've got a full stack dev. So normal TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, Node, Angular, SQL, React, API, REST, Cloud, Agile, CI/CD, and any extra languages, and Git. This person has applied to 150. That is a ratio. That's not good. So let's see what we can do to help. All right, associate technical consultant, Salesforce developer. Okay, developed a responsive email landing page using JavaScript, HTML, and CSS, resulting in 20% higher click-through rate. That's fine. Campaigns, engagement, and boost. Okay, Salesforce and Marketing Cloud to develop websites, emails, and filter out data. Implemented Agile Scrum. Creation process, like 40% of emails. Okay, I mean, we have a lot of the keywords, but I think... So this problem may not be a keyword problem. I think they actually have a solid amount of keywords. I think probably the issue is you are looking to get to a full stack position. Let me just double check that. Yeah, full stack developer. I don't see TypeScript. I also only see JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. Yeah, so first off, this reads like a front-end dev. Actually, kind of solid bullet points for front-end dev. But I don't see the back end. In addition, this title, Associate Technical Consultant, Salesforce Developer, I don't know. I think if a recruiter saw that, they'd go, okay, well, they're not a full-stack developer. And they may just move you to the next person. There are internal and external... there are internal and external company titles. Internally, your title is Associate Technical Consultant. Externally, you can be almost anything you want. And a lot of people mess up on this because they assume they're like, oh, I'm going to show that I'm the CEO. And it's like, no. Your goal is to show the people that you are qualified, that you meet the minimum qualifications. And how you would do that is... you would just write software engineer or full stack developer or front end developer. And then in the interview, they could say, so front end developer is like, well, my official title was associate technical consultant, but my duties were really more of a, full stack developer or whatever. So you're not going to hide it. You're just going to show the manager it during the interview. But this really does read like a front end dev. I don't really see the back end. And I think a lot of people would discount you immediately because it just shows associate technical developer, which again, not what they're going to be looking for if they're looking for a full stack. So that I think is the main problem with this above anything else is just that. Let's see. Also, you don't show where your education should be up at the top. Projects, designed a fully music player for Apple Swift. Okay, that's fine. API, RESTful API. Again, where's the Python? Where's the Java? Do I even see any TypeScript? There, right at the bottom. Yeah, so... yeah, that doesn't count. You need it in here. All right? This is an issue of the... people are going to look at this and immediately assume you're a Salesforce developer, not a full-stack developer. And they're not going to know enough to know the difference or the equivalent skills. So I would probably change this to front end, or if you really did full stack, then do full stack, but you need to make it read like full stack. Like, I am missing that TypeScript, which you say you have, but I don't see. You do have cloud, which I do, but it's after marketing. So, and that should be okay. But you do have a REST API. But again, this is an issue of people looking at this and saying, okay, this is a Salesforce developer. This is not a full stack developer. They applied to the wrong job and they're going to move forward. So your bullet points are okay. You just need to add more of the main primary language so that it reads like full stack instead of front end. And you really need to change the title of this and stop with all the bolding. The bolding is actually making it harder to read. So that's what I got for this. I'm sure there's other things I could do, but primarily I think your issue is right here, because the very first thing they see is that you are not a part of that job. So let's move to the next one. All right, for our final review, this is actually the second time I reviewed this because the first time they had doxing information. So I cannot move from this little awkward formatting or it will dox them, and I'm not going to dox them. So in short, since I technically already reviewed this one on Twitch, what is the problem with this resume is not hard to fix. So first off, the formatting is off. There's too much bolding. This shouldn't be bolded. This shouldn't be bolded. This shouldn't be bolded. The education should be above the skills section, and the education should fit on, at max, 1 to 2 lines. This is not a U.S. education. I don't know if this is needed as much. At least in the U.S., your secondary school is not needed if you're already enrolled in a bachelor's. But, yeah, I don't know. That might be a thing that is outside the U.S. So, this could probably fit on 1 or 2 lines max. Then work experience, they had a giant red flag, which was that they said they're a founder. Never say you're a founder or a CEO or owner unless you are applying to be the same, because that is a giant red flag to hiring managers. One of the biggest red flags. Also, I forgot, they're trying to be a software engineer. I think. Maybe intern. They didn't give me any information. So, they have a 1 to 50 ratio? No, unknown ratio. So yeah, I'm going practically blind on this one. But yeah, so formatting is off. Founders shouldn't be there. But truthfully, their bullet points are relatively solid. This bullet point isn't. This is not a good bullet point because I don't know in context how much 2K is. But overall, the rest of them are very good bullet points. They need a little bit more keywords. Excuse me. So we're basically missing JavaScript. We're missing TypeScript. We're missing HTML. We're missing any type of SQL and maybe another language or so. But those can be easily put in if you did that. But yeah, this is the only bad bullet. The rest of these bullets are actually solid. They give a good description. They tell you what they did, tell you why they did it. And then projects-wise, even though people cannot see because of the formatting, they're actually done pretty well. Same with the coding instructions. So yeah, it's really just a couple of issues like that. It's formatting, you need a little more keywords, you need to remove founder, and then you should probably have a much better success. If you're looking more for internships rather than full-time, then you want to add a little bit of how you worked well with others. Although admittedly teaching over 125 kids between 9 to 14 is solid. Kids can be cruel, and being able to teach them so that you have patience and can do that. So overall, okay, you just need a couple of fixes and you should be in a much better situation. So thank you all. I appreciate it. I will see you all on the next video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It is very helpful. Thank you.